What if I told you that 82% of parent entrepreneurs are actually wasting their precious time on the wrong business models, including spending months, sometimes years, building something that's designed to fail, all while missing bedtime stories and cheer practices. Here's the thing, and this one's going to ruffle a few feathers, so hang in here with me. That perfect business model that your favorite guru's pushing, yeah, it might be the worst choice for my busy parents out there just like you. In fact, I recently discovered why some of the most popular online models are absolutely terrible for beginners, especially if you're juggling a life, a family life, a social life, kids, everything that's got you have going on. But there's something even more interesting. The business model that has generated the most consistent revenue for busy entrepreneurs, busy parent entrepreneurs, it's the one that hardly anyone even talks about. So stay tuned because I'm going to rank every online business model from worst to best for busy parents, for busy folks in general. And what I'm about to share might just save you years of wasted time and thousands of dollars. What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, where being a busy parent isn't your limitation. It is actually your superpower. I was chatting with one of the community members last week. Let's call her Sasha. And if you're listening, hey, Sasha, you know who you are. And she asked me something that stopped me dead in my tracks. She said, Tracy, I have exactly, and just what she said, exactly 47 minutes a day between school drop-off and my first meeting. Knowing that, what's the best way to build a business inside that small pocket of time? That question right there, that's exactly why we're here today. Because here's the thing, and I lean in because I really want you to hear this. Most business advice out there, yeah, it's built for people who have larger blocks of time, endless hours in which to hustle, right? That's why you hear that hustle and grind mentality out there. But you and me, we're dark horses. We don't have that luxury. We're building empires between cheer practice and bedtime stories. And that's exactly why we have to be smarter about which business model that we select, the one we choose. So today I'm going to walk you through every online business model that I can think of that's out there, from the worst to the absolute best for our busy folks that are out there, busy parents like us. I'm talking real world, battle-tested rankings based on what actually works when you're juggling a busy life, family life, and your business dreams, your entrepreneurial dreams that you want to strike out on. And stick around to the end because I'm going to share the exact business model that helped one of our community members generate her first $5,000 a month, all while working 90 minutes a day. Plus, I have an extra special surprise, something new that's coming out. So grab your notebook, steal a crayon from your kids' art supplies if you have to, because we're about to dive deep into what really works for a dark horse parent entrepreneur. You ready to run your race and get your results? Well, then let's do this, as they say. When I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I'll be honest, I was like a kid in a candy store, trying everything. Ooh, shiny. What's over here? Oh, let's play. Oh, let's try this. Right? Everything looked so shiny and everything was so promising. The sales page said so, so it had to be true, right? But let me tell you, I have the battle scars to prove it. I remember sitting in my garage, and this is way back when my daughter was a bit of a toddler, and I was staring at boxes of a book I had written. Don't get me wrong, I was proud of the books. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something I learned the hard way. It took me, what was it, two and a half years to write that very first book. That is roughly 912 bedtime stories that I cut short. Yeah, I cut quite a few of them short and maybe even missed a few in the process so I could go right. But here's the thing. This is something I wish that someone would have told me back then. It's not just about finding a business model that actually works, because writing a book does work, let's be honest. It's about finding one that works for you in your life, in the life that you're actually living day to day right now. Not the fact that you could block off 8 hours of time once. You could do it over and over again because you probably can't. And it's certainly not the one that some gurus out there think you should be living. Okay, I've been there. I've done that. I literally got the t-shirt. It's probably still hanging up in my closet, literally, because I even tried merch sales, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just being honest with you. I've developed software that never saw the light of day. I spent thousands in product development, and I've even tried running live events, all while juggling parenthood. So I can rank these Trust me. And for those that I didn't get deep into, I certainly have the experience and the knowledge of those that have done it. And some of you are nodding right now because you've been there too. You've like, oh yeah, I tried that. Maybe you stayed up till 2 a.m. trying to write that first book that someone told you that you needed to have. Or perhaps you're draining your savings right now trying to develop the perfect product, he says with air quotes, or your kids are wondering why you're always staring at your laptop, right? Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. After years of trial and error, and trust me, there's been plenty of errors, stumbles, bumbles, trips, falls, face plants, I started to notice some patterns. Certain business models consistently worked better for busy parents, for busy entrepreneurs. Others, well, they were as practical as trying meal prep while your toddler was redecorating your kitchen with spaghetti. You feel me? You could still do it. There's going to be a price to pay. You're with me? Okay. So today I'm going to save you years of expensive lessons and countless missed moments with your family. We're going to break down every business model that I've either tried personally or seen others attempt. And I'm going to rank them from don't even think about it to this is your fast track to freedom. Let's discuss the ones you absolutely need to avoid, the ones I call the dream crushers. And trust me, knowing what not to do is probably just about as valuable as knowing what to do. Let's dive into what I will call the D-tier business models, the dream crushers. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not calling that just to be dramatic. I'm calling them that because I've watched these actually crush more entrepreneurial dreams and parent entrepreneurial dreams than just about any other group of business models. First on the list, let's start with writing a book. Now, don't get me wrong. I've written a few of them and I know exactly what I'm talking about here. The last one, it took me years to complete. I would even say over a decade. And I restarted the damn thing 3 times. Yeah, you heard me. That's not a typo. That's not a verbal faux pas. 3. Now, I can hear what some of you are thinking. Remember the magic headphones I told you about in the last episode? But Tracy, having a book will make me an instant authority. And you're right, it would. But here's what no one tells you about writing a book as a busy parent, as a busy entrepreneur. While you're spending months crafting that perfect chapter 1, you could have built an engaging social media following, created and launched a successful coaching program, generated actual revenue from multiple clients, and most importantly, been present for countless family events. Yeah, I remember one night that I missed my daughter's music recital because I was trying to meet a writing deadline that I had set. Ladies and gentlemen, no amount of authority is worth that price, he says from experience, okay? You want to build your authority faster? Start a podcast. I know everyone starts a podcast. Oh, okay, start a podcast or create short form videos or write articles for other people's platforms that are already established. You can get that done within those 30-minute chunks between soccer practice and dinner prep and cheer and bedtime stories. You feel me? Okay, now let's talk about product invention. Boy, do I have a story for you on this one. Have you ever heard of the product called SwitchPod? It was a really cool tripod. It generated $418,000 from over 4,000 backers on Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken. It's amazing, right? But here's the numbers they don't tell you. It took 2.5 years to go from idea to market. It required tens of thousands of upfront investment costs. It had countless sleepless nights of the inventors dealing with the manufacturers, and there was enough stress to make the gray hairs on the founder's head have gray hairs. You feel me? Okay. I want you to remember this was a success story. This was a good story. It's one of the ones that actually made money. Most product inventions never even make it to market. You know what happens instead? They become expensive garage decorations while your kids are sitting there wondering why that great idea that mama and daddy was working on never happened. Yeah. Okay. Just whoosh. Insert flushing sound here. Okay. If you're sitting there with an amazing product idea right now, I want you to do something for me. Go ahead and write it down. I don't want you to forget about it. I want you to write it down in detail. Put it in a drawer and save it for later. Okay? Right now, as a busy parent, as a busy entrepreneur, you need something that's going to generate revenue faster and with far less risk. Speaking of risk, wait until I tell you about the C-tier business models, because these ones, they're like those fancy desserts that look amazing on Instagram, but they fall apart the moment you try to serve them. Now, these are the ones that I'm going to call the shiny object syndrome tier. This is the tier 3 models, okay? Now, these aren't necessarily bad business models. Actually, none of these are really bad business models. You just have to be in the right place for each one of them. But for my busy parents, they're about as practical as trying to fold a fitted sheet with your toddler's help. Possible, but it's going to take some time and some investment, okay? So let's start with software development. Oh boy, do I have a story for you on this one. Now, I know, not some time ago, I had this brilliant idea for a software tool. I thought, how hard could it be? I know a bit about coding. Well, let me tell you, thousands of dollars later, yeah, you heard that right, thousands of dollars later, I learned exactly how hard it could be. Now, hold on now. Don't get too riled up because I know there's quite a few of my tech-savvy parents that are listening right now, and their ears just perked up, and some of them may be thinking, but Tracy, I know how to code. Okay, that's great. But here's what no one tells you about software development. There's never just a few months of development. Every feature adds weeks of testing. Updates and maintenance are constant and ongoing. Customer support becomes a full-time job, and that's assuming you got everything right out of the gate. Okay? Now, speaking of having things right, let's talk about live events. Okay, I've run live events. I ran many a live event down in Atlanta. And let me tell you about the time I thought that I could coordinate a major event all while being a parent. Picture this, trying to negotiate with venues while your kids have the flu, coordinating speakers between school lunches, and managing ticket sales during drama practice. Yeah, this is just like juggling chainsaws while riding a unicycle. It's technically possible, but why would you put yourself through that? That's the big question, because here's what they don't tell you about running live events, and here's what it actually requires. No joke. Months of advanced planning, significant upfront costs, endless coordination all the way through the event. Not just coordination before the event, coordination during the event, even coordination after the event. And you need to have more plan Bs than the alphabet actually has letters. So next, let's talk about building a community. You want to build a community? You want to build a community without chaos? Start with virtual events. They're cheaper, right? They're easier to manage, and you can run them in your pajamas after your kids go to bed. Okay? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, let's talk about merchandise, or as I call it, the Instagram illusion. You've seen it, right? Those entrepreneurs showing off their cool branded hoodies and their coffee mugs, making it look like they're pretty money. Well, let me tell you about the reality of merch. I was in the merchandise field for a long time. Did you know that most new merchandise businesses need to sell at least 100 items just to break even on their initial investment? No joke. That's just the cost up front. And that's assuming they don't end up with boxes and boxes of medium or extra small shirts while everyone wants a large or an extra large or a XL. I'm just saying, there'd be some big folks out there. Okay, so here's what the merch influencers do not show you. Inventory taking over your garage or your home entirely, shipping logistic nightmares, customer service headaches, and profit margins thinner than your patience after a full day of parenting, or maybe dealing with that Karen of a mom down the street. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway. Okay, but here's the thing. Does this mean you should never do merch? No. But you need to do it when it makes sense. After you have built a loyal following of those who are actually already asking for it. Until then, it's just another expensive garage decoration. Now, I want to move on to the B tier business models. Things that start getting interesting. And these are the ones that I like to call now we're talking tier. The B tier is the now we're talking tier. And some of them might just surprise you. Okay. Maybe even we call these the hidden gems, because these are the opportunities that most people scroll right past while they're chasing those shiny objects that we just talked about. So let's start with newsletters. Hold on before you roll your eyes thinking, oh, great, more email. No, let me share something that'll wake you up faster than your morning coffee. 3 shots. One of our Dark Horse community members, let's call her Michelle, started a newsletter about organizing kids' rooms. Just that. Nothing fancy, no complicated funnels. She writes it during her kids' nap time. You know what happened? She's now making $4,700 a month from her subscribers who pay $9 monthly for her organization tips. That's right. While other parents are trying to build the next great Facebook group, Michelle's out there getting paid to share what she already knows. And here's why newsletters work for busy entrepreneurs, for my busy parents out there. You can write them inside those small blocks of time. They don't require fancy tech. You can batch create content during quiet times, right? When someone's finally getting that nap time in, whenever. And best of all, the more real life examples you have, hello, Missy Playroom, the better your content, right? It's more personable. Now, remember those nightmare live events we were just talking about earlier? Well, virtual events are their far more parent-friendly cousin. Now, one year, I ran a virtual event while my kid had the flu. Was it ideal? No, but try doing that with a live event. You can't exactly tell 500 people from the hotel ballroom, hey, can we just pause while I go make some chicken soup to get my, no, it's okay. Okay. You feel me? So you got to balance these things out. To me, here's why virtual events are perfect for parent entrepreneurs. One, no revenue costs or logistic nightmares. Two, you can run them in your PJs. Of course, you're going to want to have your camera off during kid chaos anyway. Or you can leave it on. That's right. Hey, this is my world. Welcome to it. Three, recording sessions during nap time. Four, easy to reschedule if a family emergency pops up. Not optimal, but certainly far easier. And last but not least, you can reach people globally without ever having to leave your workspace, your living room, your bedroom, maybe your bathroom, if that's where you're working from. Now, let's talk about speaking. This is another one where my magic headphones come in and I can hear you saying, Tracy, public speaking, that's my worst nightmare. Okay, I get it. I used to be a little bit shaken by it. Didn't experience the fear that most people do. But what if I told you that speaking has generated over 6 figures for my business over the course of time? And I started by talking to 5 people in a local beauty salon. I did. I was giving ladies personal defense tips and then selling a product while I had their attention. And this all happened while they were getting their hair done. Just no joke. I was in there. Instead of them facing the mirror, they were facing me, and I was like talking. Anyway, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, I was terrible when I started. I'll be honest. I don't know if I didn't have VCR tapes back then. Tells you how long ago it was. But I know if I would have recorded it, I would be like, yuck. I mean, sometimes sweating through my shirt, forgetting my own name level of terrible. But here is what I learned about speaking as a parent entrepreneur. One, you can start with local parent groups. I just happened to reach out to a local beauty salon and call them and say, hey, can I do them? Like, oh yeah, it's an amazing idea. If you start with a local parent group, these folks are already your people. Okay. You can record yourself at small events, and that gives you instant content. You can use your kids' activities as practice time, car rehearsals work too as you're driving. You can leverage virtual speaking opportunities. There's no travel required on those. And you can build up to paid speaking event gigs when it makes sense for your family. Now, one of our community members started by speaking at her kids' PTA meeting. 6 months later, she got paid $2,500 for virtual keynotes about parent entrepreneurship. Just what I'm talking about here, but hold on to your coffee cups, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to dive into the A-tier business models. This is where things really get exciting for us dark horse entrepreneur parents. These are the ones I want to call the money in the bank opportunities. These are the models that have consistently worked for busy parents in our dark horse community. First, let's start with done-for-you services, and let me tell you, this might be the fastest path to replacing your 9-to-5 income. And again, I can hear it in my magic headphones right now. But Tracy, you might be thinking, isn't that trading time for money? You've said that before. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and it might ruffle quite a few guru feathers. When you're starting out, trading time for money isn't just okay. It's often the smartest move that you can make. Sometimes it's the only move you can make. I'm not a big fan of trading time for money, but if you're trading time for money and the amount of money is higher than the time you're trading for money at your 9-to-5, well, then it makes sense. Okay. Let's take one of the moms from our community, right? She was a busy mom and she knew how to write killer email sequences. Is kind of what she did in her 9-to-5. But instead of creating a course about email marketing, she started writing emails for other businesses. First client, $500 for one email sequence, and she wrote that during her kids' soccer practice. So she effectively was trading time for money, something I say you shouldn't keep doing. But within the space of 45 minutes, $500, that's time worth giving for the right amount of money. So here's why done for your services works so well for us busy parents. It's quick cash flow and often within days, not months. It has a flexible schedule so you can use it around your family time. Very low startup costs. Usually just the cost of your laptop, which some of you already have. It has built-in market research that you can use for future products. And it builds this natural progression potentially to your next long-term project or product. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Sponsorships and brand deals. What? Yeah, now I'm not talking about being an Instagram influencer with millions of followers or anything. No. Did you know that one of our community members landed a $2,000 a month deal with only 500 podcast listeners? What? Yeah, I know. Why? Why? Because those 500 listeners were exactly who the sponsor was trying to reach. That's what no one tells you about sponsorships. And here's some other things they don't tell you. It's not about the size. I'm sorry, ladies, it's true. It's about the specificity. Micro-influencers often get far better engagement, so brands are looking at them. Brands are looking for authentic voices. My authentic parents out there, maybe? Yeah, okay. And you can start monetizing way earlier than you think. So here's a parent-friendly sponsorship launch plan. Start with products that you already use, know, and love. Document your authentic usage, kids included, right, of the products and brands you know and love. Reach out to those brands with specific value propositions. Start small with like affiliate relationships and then build up to a paid sponsorship. Speaking of affiliates, let's talk about affiliate marketing for a moment, but let's not talk about that sleazy kind that gives affiliate marketing a bad name. I remember promoting one of my first affiliate products. It was from a binder company of Pokemon cards way back in the early days, right? I made 5 figures by recommending this. And it was something my girls were already using in their card collecting. Here's where I think most parents and busy entrepreneurs go wrong when it comes to affiliate marketing. And we'll call this the affiliate marketing danger zones. Promoting products you have not used. Yeah, right. Why? I get it. You're going to get free money, but if you haven't used it, usually what you're saying is inauthentic and people are going to feel that. Chasing high commissions over good fit. Love high commissions, but make sure those high commission items are good fit for who you are, what you believe in. Not disclosing your affiliate relationship. Ooh, that's a bozo no, can get you in some big trouble. Don't do that. Trying to promote everything on the planet here. I'm going to talk about this microphone screen shield. I'm talking about this sticker company. I'm going to talk about microphone, the boom arm. Yeah, who cares? Pick an item and go for it. And forgetting your why, which leads you to promoting products that are not aligned with who you are, right? And that usually comes back to that high commissions over a good fit. Here's how to do affiliate marketing right as a busy person, as a busy parent, a busy entrepreneur. Start with products that you actually use with your family. There you go. Document those results. Going from messy kids' room to organized heaven using those specific products, perhaps. Share authentic stories. Be sure to share your failures as well. Build trust before you start promoting and focus on solving specific problems. There you go. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hold on to your coffee cups because we're about ready to dive into the S tier business models. This is where I call the legacy builders because they are absolutely perfect for my busy entrepreneurs that are listening to this show, especially my busy parents. Let's call these the freedom creators. And these are the ones I feel that are absolutely perfect for my dark horse entrepreneurs out there listening right now, my dark horse parents. Let's start with online courses. I get it. Yep, the signal's going off on my magic headphones again. But Tracy, isn't the course creation market saturated? Let me share with something that might just change your perspective forever. Did you know I personally have generated a good chunk of change in online courses since going far back as 2000s? And here's the real kicker. Some of my most successful students are parents teaching things like how to organize Lego collections. Yeah, I know. And meal prep for picky eaters. Yeah, there's a big one. That's a good one. I wish I would have thought about it. So let me give you a quick framework, the parent-friendly course creation framework, method, whatever you want to call it. 1, start with what you already know. And yes, parenting counts. 2, record content during those small blocks of time that we've talked about a number of times, between nap time, after bedtime, right? Wherever you got that space of time, that's where you're going to record that content. 3, launch small and iterate. Perfect, my friend, is the enemy of done. I speak from experience. 4, use your real life examples, mess ups included. Your failures tell everyone that's listening to you just how authentic you are. And then 5, last but not least, number 5, let your kids be a part of the process. Heck, they're cute props, aren't they? Anyway, okay, so let's talk about coaching. That's the next one. Possibly the fastest path to significant income for my busy entrepreneurs out there. Remember Michelle, we mentioned earlier from our community? She was worried about not being expert enough. 3 months later, she's making $3,000 a month coaching other moms about time management, something she mastered out of necessity as a single parent. Okay? Here's why I think coaching works for parents. You can start earning within days, not months. You have a flexible schedule that you can build around your family life. No fancy tech is needed. There's a natural progression of your experience. As you get more experience, you can start teaching higher levels of your niche, whatever it might be, and you can do it entirely from your home. Win-win all the way around. Now, let's move on to digital products. I think this is the ultimate in time leverage for my busy entrepreneurs out there. One of our Dark Horse moms created a simple PDF planner for homeschool organization. Price point, $27. Right? Pretty easy, pretty low, making it available to everyone out there. Here's the magic. She sells 50 to 100 copies of these every single month with no more effort, right? Create it once, keep selling it, okay? So here's another family-friendly launch plan for digital products. Number 1, it should solve a single specific problem, not all the problems about that niche overall, one specific problem, okay? You can create it again in those small pockets of time, test it on a small audience, okay? Automate the delivery so that you don't have to keep putting time into it, and then scale through strategic marketing. As you find those batches of folks that need that problem solved, you can advertise to them. And then finally, last but not least, let's talk about what I believe the future of online business is going to be: community building. What's that? Oh, there go my magic headphones again. But Tracy, I don't have enough time to manage a community. I hear you. Who does? But what if I told you that the less time you spend managing it, the more valuable it becomes? What? Yeah, I know. Come on, I'll put on the brakes. What's he talking about? Some of you just leaned in and go, did I just hear that? You did. Some of the most valuable connections happen when parents are helping parents in our Dark Horse community. Not me helping them, the members helping each other without me being involved at all. That is the magic of community. It begins to spawn its own little ecosystem. So here's how to start small with community. Begin with something as small as 5 or 10 committed members. Focus on one specific shared challenge. Remember, just like solving a single problem. Let the conversation flow naturally. Don't try to be the God on high. You're not the expert on the ivory tower talking down to your community members. No, let those conversations flow naturally. Celebrate small wins together, even if you weren't the cause of those small wins, and let the community grow through word of mouth. If you're adding value and there's value within each other, they're going to talk about it and they're going to bring people in. The beauty, I think, of these S-tier models is they all work together. Your course leads to coaching. Your coaching leads to community. Your community buys your digital products, and then suddenly, bam, you're able to leave your 9-to-5 job. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about building a legacy while being present for the moments that matter in your life. This is how you show your kids what's possible. This is how Dark Horses win. But knowing these models, I think, is just the first step. Let me show you how to choose the right one for you and your family. Okay? And we're going to do that by turning knowledge into action, because knowing which business model, that's great. That's awesome. But taking the first step, yes, that's where the magic is. That's where you hear me say, think successfully and take action. Because if you do one without the other, it gets a lot harder. But before I give you these action steps, I want you to do something for me. Seriously, grab a piece of paper. Go ahead, right now. I'll wait. You got it? Good. Okay. Because what I'm about to share could literally change the trajectory of your future, of your family's future. Here's the Dark Horse decision framework. 2 steps. Step 1, let's do a reality check. How many hours can you actually commit weekly without stealing from your family time? Okay. What days are consistently yours? Okay. What resources, money, skills, tools do you have right now available to you? Not that you have to go out and buy. And what's your runway? And what I mean by that is how long until you need that income from your new side hustle or your main hustle. Go ahead, write those numbers down. And I want you to be brutally honest. No aspirational pie in the sky numbers. You're going to want real in the trenches of parenthood numbers. Okay? Because here's something that might surprise you. The less time you have, the more important it is that you choose the right model. If you only got 5 hours a week, you can't afford to waste time on the wrong path. Okay? Step 2 is the quick win strategy. Choose one model from the A or the S tier. You can go back and re-listen to the podcast to catch that. Start with the lowest hanging fruit, focus on the fastest path to that first dollar, and build that foundation for long-term growth. Okay? So here's what you're going to do this week. You wrote down how many hours you have, right? You did. And for those of you that didn't, why not? If you didn't, maybe you're doing something, you're driving or something right now, and I get it. I want you to think about how many hours you have. Because if you have 5 to 10 hours, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start with coaching or done-for-you services. Okay. Now that you've picked one of those two, reach out to 3 potential clients, set up a simple payment system, and create a basic delivery process. Very simple. Pick one of the two, coaching or done-for-you services. Got it. Here's what it is. Figure out what it is you're going to offer. Reach out to those 3 potential clients. Say, here's what I'm offering. Here's how you pay me. And here's how I'm going to get it to you. Don't overthink it. You could figure all that out in the next 5 minutes. Okay. If you only have 2 to 5 hours, I want you to begin with a digital product. Create one simple solution. Test it with a small audience. And again, automate the delivery. I'm going to create this PDF. Here's the solution I'm solving. Here's the audience I'm going to send it to. They say, yes, I would like that. You say, yes, that's $27, and I'll email it to you. Automated. Got it? Boom. Now, let me save you hundreds of hours of research with these specific resources. Okay? Because I know some of you are thinking, God, how am I going to do all this? 4 essential tools for beginners. 1, Stan for digital market delivery. It's free to start, ladies and gentlemen. 2, Circle for community building. Again, 14-day free trial. Zoom, and number 3, for coaching calls. Free version works fine. Okay. And number 4, Canva for basic design. Again, free version will be plenty for most of you. There it is. One of our community members did this, a busy mom of 3. Okay. She used these 4 tools by themselves and built a K a month business in under 90 days. So here's what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. Complete the reality check exercise that I just told you about. Choose your one business model. Set up your basic tool stack. Don't overcomplicate it. And take one action towards earning your first dollar. But here's the important thing I want you to think about. And I want you to remember, don't lean into me. I'll come back. Whatever you're doing right now, go ahead and lean in and pay attention to this. Because this is where most people get stuck. Do not wait till everything's perfect. No. Perfect is the enemy of profitable. Go ahead and start messy. Go ahead and start small. Start while your kids are throwing Cheetos right now across the room. Spaghetti, toddler, like I mentioned earlier. Who cares? Because here's the truth, my dark horse friends and family. Your kids aren't going to remember if your first launch was perfect, but they will remember seeing their parent chase their dreams, overcome their obstacles, and build something meaningful. Yeah, okay? So, and here's the thing. You don't have to do this alone. In fact, let me share something special with you in our Whiskered Wisdom segment. You know, one of my favorite segments right here. So, but before I do that, let me quickly recap everything. We walked through every online business model I could think of, from the dream crushers to the freedom creators. D tier, books and product invention. Save those for later. The C tier, software, live events, and merch. Approach those with caution. The B tier is where we start getting solid potential, right? Newsletters, virtual events, and speaking. Then the A tier, done-for-you services, sponsorships, and affiliate marketing. These are strong opportunities here. The S tier, these are the ones I really root for: online courses, coaching, digital products, and community building. These ones I think are your fast track to freedom. And here's your Whiskered Wisdom. And I really want you to let this one sink in. The most successful parent entrepreneurs that I know didn't succeed despite being a parent. They succeeded because they were parents. Think about it. Seriously. And I know I've mentioned this a few times, and I'm going to keep hammering it in. Every day, you're managing multiple priorities. Those are business skills. You're negotiating with toddlers and teenagers. That could be sales training. You're creating systems to manage the chaos. That's operational expertise. You're stretching your resources. That's financial management. And you're building little humans. You're building little people into amazing people. That, my friends, is leadership development. Your parenting challenges aren't obstacles to your business success. I think they're your business boot camp. So here's what I want you to do right now. Yes, and I mean this right this second. Even if you're driving, I want you to do this in your head. Think of your biggest parenting challenge that you've gone through recently, maybe one you're going through right now. If you got it, now flip the script. How could this challenge actually be a business advantage? Here's some examples. Maybe you're dealing with a picky eater. That could be your meal planning digital product. Are you managing multiple schedules? Maybe you've got one child that's in cheer and another child is in football and another child that's in drama. Okay. And you're managing all those schedules. That could be your time management coaching program. Are you organizing chaos in your home? Maybe that's your home organizational course. And if you're stretching a budget, well, that's your family finance community. You feel me? Okay. So your homework is really simple, but it's powerful. Take that parenting challenge and turn it into a business idea before you go to bed tonight. Do not overthink it. Do not wait for it to be perfect. Just write it down. Okay. Lay that piece of paper on your bedside stand before you go to bed tonight. And make sure there's something on that piece of paper as an idea before you lay your head down. Because here's the truth. Somewhere out there, another parent is struggling with exactly what you have already figured out. You're not just building a business. You're creating a solution that could change another family's life for the better. And that, my Dark Horse family, is how we run our race and how we get our results. Okay. Now, before you go off running and starting your entrepreneurial empire, I got something special for you, like I mentioned earlier in the episode. Now, I've talked about choosing the right business model. What if I told you that there's a way to accelerate your success using probably the most powerful tool available to entrepreneurs right now? I've been quietly working on something in the background. I think it's going to change the game for busy parents like you. And it's something that turns the I don't have time excuse into, damn, I can't believe I created this in a weekend statement. You feel me? Okay. And right now, the name of it is the AI Passive Income Accelerator. And it's about to transform how my Dark Horse parents create digital products and passive income streams. Remember the digital product? She sells that PDF, $27, 50 to 100 of them. Created it once. Yeah. See, now, again, there's the signal from my magic headphones. Once again, I can hear what you're thinking. Tracy, I am not tech savvy. Or maybe you're thinking AI sounds complicated. Yeah. Or maybe you're poo-pooing AI. Well, here's the thing. If you can talk to Siri or Alexa, you can use this system. If you can read a book, you can use this system. Imagine being able to create a profitable digital product in hours, not months, generate marketing materials that actually convert, build automated systems in your sleep, right? Okay. And scale your income without sacrificing your family time. Imagine that. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But here's the deal. I'm only releasing this out of the gate to my Dark Horse Insider family first at a special pre-launch price. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be too low. So if you want to be first in line, here's what you need to do. You need to head over to darkhorseinsider.com and join our free Dark Horse Insider newsletter. Not only will you get first access at the lowest price offered on the AI Passive Income Accelerator, but you'll also receive weekly actionable strategies designed specifically for parent entrepreneurs just like you. And for joining, you'll get immediate access to my AI Quick Wins Guide, 3 simple AI prompts that could save you 5 hours a week. And I'm trying not to exaggerate it. Probably will be more. My gift to you for just taking action today. Remember, my Dark Horse family, we don't wait for the perfect time. We create it. We don't follow the traditional path. We forge our own. And most importantly, we support each other along the way. Until next time, this is Tracy Brinkman, your humble host, reminding you that your limitations are your superpower. So get out there, run your race, get your results, and as always, think successfully and take action.